we've killed the baker, we've burned down the orphanage, and let's raid this entire town and move to the next. Welcome, scholars, storytellers, and fellow babysitter DMs. This is the Level Up Corner, led by yours truly, Wizo, as we delve into all the tips and tricks about Dungeons & Dragons. Today's topic is homes for players. Now, that intro may have seemed a little extreme, but think about it. When you go to a new area, when you're expected to work there for 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10 months, an indefinite period of time, what is the first thing that you do? Do you find the nearest mechanic? Do you find the nearest barber, grocery store, anything like that? No, we always find a place to live. You don't want to go in a hotel or motel and live there for months on end. That's crazy. You want a home. That's one of the first things we do. And we do it because it's our place of comfort. It's where we come home to, if you will. We also place down our roots and make it so that we're part of the community. If you're just an adventurer, you may start out going with the idea that I'm going to dungeon delve, get a bunch of loot, and then go back to my hometown, and you may start that way. In fact, I would venture to say that most D&D players, or at least characters, start that way. But very quickly, they start to realize this won't be a short day, 2, or week endeavor. No, we're going to stay here for a while. And as they stay there for a long period of time, it's unnatural to be there in just a room for rent for weeks and months on end. Instead, they would want a home. Now, I have good news for you. As players start to develop their careers, their characters, and everything else, it only makes sense that the people in charge, the local nobility, will want these powerful people to settle in their community. Think of how many bars are owned by players or retired adventurees. Think of how many businesses could be owned by these people, and the deterrent on crime just for having them around. It's pretty great, after all. So the local nobility, or people in charge in government, whatever else, will want to, as a reward, give the players a place to live. This makes it so they're attached to the area. They care about what happens. And players get something really cool. Now, you shouldn't just give them any home. You shouldn't just say, well, here's your 7th bar, or here's a manor that you standardly get as part of the premium package for adventuring. No. What you should do, my friends, is figure out what the players want to do. This may mean, as the adventurers actually accomplish a lot, they are sussed out a little bit in the bar. They might have certain local authorities come in under guise and stealth, or even have their underlings come and ask the players a few questions. What do they do when they don't adventure? What do they like to do? This makes your players actually have more depth to their characters rather than just murdering autonomous character machines. No, they have personalities. One of them likes to knit and tailor. The other one likes to have an herbalism garden, or wants to one day. So you get a tailor shop that in the back has a garden that can allow a lot of different plants and herbs to be grown there. This means that it is special to the players. It is custom tailored for them. And because it is custom tailored and special, they in turn will feel special. Now this is where we link it all back to the intro, where the players who started murder hoboing and killing everyone else, well, they don't do that anymore. They have a home, a community, people they want to protect. And this makes it so it's easier to get them to go on adventures. In fact, they now have a place to live. They don't have to go into the bar or go to some shady alley and ask, hey, do you have a job for us? No, they have a home. They have a place of residence, a place where people can go and ask them to go on quests. Why wouldn't they? If they're 5th or 6th level, they have some renown. They have some accolades from previous adventures. They are wanted people for work. And this makes it so that life is easier for them. They might even have servants who could actually relay the message, which is also very nice. Speaking on the prospect of homes being very nice, we as DMs are tempted to destroy everything the players love. It is very fun, and we do it with backstories. Every DM does. Don't you say you don't. The player has a blank slate of a backstory of, oh yeah, I couldn't find my parents. Couldn't find your parents, you say? Well, that's because they're obviously a part of the plot. And we have an evil tendency to do this. And if the players get something that they love, some DMs want to harm it. Some DMs want to destroy that home, or make it so that it's constantly under assault. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that if you make this home a burden, the players will drop it. They will drop this burden. They will not want to deal with it. And what I have found is that you should not assault a home, or the player's home, more than once in an entire campaign. And if that home is assaulted, it is a big deal. It is a very big deal because it is their home, it is their place, and anyone who has invaded it, assaulted it, or destroyed it will suffer greater than anything else. Granted, you don't want to destroy it. You might want to deal a little bit of damage here if it's something really big, but you never want to destroy their home. And you never want to assault it again because it is something that should be special to them, a place of rest and respite, not a place that they have to be on guard constantly, just like one of their adventures. And speaking of adventures, one thing that I have found, top tier tip for you, is that you need to make the home relevant even when the players are away. Now, your players are not going to constantly be at home. As nice as that would be for the player characters, they've got stuff to do. Their job takes them far and away. It may take them even to another continent, on a boat, in the Underdark, in a different plane of reality, even in space, wherever you want. But they need to be reminded that this home is a good thing. And that's why you should make the home useful even when they are out on adventures. It could be something as simple as the home is making them gold when they're gone. So when they come back, they're like, oh, we got a nice little pot here. Or they could have servants and NPCs that can assist them, such as gathering information. They left on an adventure to go kill the goblin stronghold. But when they come back, Gretchen will be able to tell them about the local corruption that is happening and the cult, which is Asmodeus and is right in their backyard, and it leads them towards another adventure to more loot, most importantly. You could even make it to where their home, if they have a shrine to a god, actually gives them a bonus on the adventure. It makes it so that they have a free advantage or inspiration because they have a shrine to said god, or the cleric has this. The wizard is able to now scribe scrolls while moving and adventuring instead of having to stay in one spot because they have an enchanted library at home. Give them something that they can use on their adventure. They will always be reminded of their home, and they will enjoy it so much more. In fact, they'll look forward to coming home and enhancing it. Never once have I regretted giving my players a home. Every single time, it has been a good thing. Even when I've gone a little overboard and assaulted it more than once, the players still enjoy it. And the players have something to ground them in the community. They have something to ground them in the world. It increases their immersion and makes that place their own. And that is why you should give your players homes. Well, and to make them not be murder hobos. But I would love to hear what you think and what homes you've had in the comments down below. Tell me about the coolest home you've had. I would love to hear about the refurbished bar that turned into an alchemy shop that you sold poisons to the Underground Assassins Guild. I'd love to hear these stories. So definitely tell me about it, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can see more of these tips and tricks. And lastly, always remember that your players love and appreciate you. This has been Wizo, and keep rolling, my friends. Keep rolling.